Good morning, you all. Our next topic is fluorescent in situ hybridization or FISH. Hybridization here means hybridization of a DNA probe to its complementary DNA. DNA probes are single-stranded small fragment of DNA which are labeled so that we can identify them using their label. Probe goes and hybridize to the original DNA. Hybridize in the sense goes and attach over the original DNA sequence. This portion will give a blue color. In situ in the sense in its original place. Natural place in the sense suppose we have a chromosome here. Gene is situated on chromosome. We are hybridizing our probe in its natural place. Such hybridizations are known as fluorescent in situ hybridization. Actually, this hybridization helps us to locate this particular gene. Fish requires DNA probe, and these DNA probes which are fluorescently labeled. Actually, these fluorescently labeled probes are made by a process known as Nick translation, and this was introduced by Rigby and Paulberg in the year 1977. This technique includes two enzymes, DNase 1, DNA polymerase 1. Now look this particular figure where you can see one DNA double stranded fragment to which we have to add fluorescent labels. Okay, after adding an enzyme DNase 1, they will create some nicks. Nicks means single strand cut. You can see a nick formed here. Now this portion is removed by an enzyme DNA polymerase 1 and will be filled up by the DNTPs which are labeled. So once these DNTPs are incorporated here, this fragment will have a fluorescent label. Here you can see this portion is replaced, new fragment is attached. When a new fragment is attached, the DNTPs which are labeled will be taken, thus that portion will have a fluorescent color. Fluorescently labeled DNA fragments are used as probes. To be used as probes, we'll make them single-stranded. Then only these single-stranded probes can attach over its original or hybridize over its original DNA sequence. So we have seen how DNA probes are made. If we have probes, we can go for the process fluorescent in situ hybridization. In fluorescent in situ hybridization, for example, these are the probes which we have. This is our DNA. If I add these probes here, they do not get hybridized. First of all, I have to make them single-stranded. Made them single-stranded, to which I am adding now my probes. Probes are added here. They will go and attach to its original sequence. Suppose here it is the original sequence, they will form the hybridization there. Once they form the hybridization, we can see this entire DNA with some color on it. This is in simple fluorescent in situ hybridization. Here you can see a chromosome. It's a particular part we have labeled with a probe, and when you look through the microscope, you will find some color here. This is fluorescent in situ hybridization. This is known as in situ because we are labeling on the chromosome or the gene on its natural place itself. In your syllabus, we are actually studying fish as an application to diagnose and to find out the intensity of disease, chronic myelogenic leukemia. Now, what is this disease? This disease is due to a translocation. We have already discussed translocation in the class 11. Translocation means the exchange of parts between two non-homologous chromosomes. Let us take two non-homologous chromosomes. If they break and exchange their parts, that is known as translocation. After translocation, the chromosome will have like this appearance. That means they have exchanged their parts. And this disease, chronic myelogenic leukemia, is due to translocation between chromosome 9 and 22nd. As we all know, 9th chromosome is a bigger chromosome and 22nd chromosome is a smaller one. And to those patients who are having CML, when we study their karyotype, we can see a chromosome number 22nd which is extremely small, which is unusually smaller. And such chromosomes are known as actually Philadelphia chromosomes. So Philadelphia chromosome is a result of translocation between chromosome number 9 and 22nd. And how do we recognize this Philadelphia chromosome? They are smaller than their normal size. To confirm this Philadelphia chromosome formed through this translocation, we does fluorescent in situ hybridization. Okay, we will take now chromosome number 9 and chromosome number 22nd. If we use fluorescent in situ hybridization and color these two chromosomes with red and green probes. If I color with red probe, the chromosome 9 will have red color. If I color with green, then chromosome 9 with green, the chromosome 9 will have green color. As you all know, there are different genes on these chromosomes. And all the genes on 9 chromosome will have green color and all the chromosomes on the 22 will have red color. Now, to study precisely CML, we are taking two genes. One gene is ABL gene and the other gene is BCR gene. ABL gene is on 9th chromosome and BCR gene on 22nd chromosome. Here you can see the chromosome number 9 which is having a gene ABL and chromosome number 22nd which is having a gene BCR. If I use red colored probe for chromosome number 9th ABL gene and green colored for BCR gene, normal individuals will have a green spot on chromosome number 22 and a red spot on chromosome number 9. Suppose there is a translocation, that means the part of 9 has gone to 22nd and a part of 22nd has come to 9. Then we can see the chromosome number 9 which is having little bit comparatively larger size because a big portion has come and joined with the chromosome number 9. And you can see a huge portion of chromosome number 22 is joined here, whereas only a small portion of 9 have gone there. But this resultant that two genes which is our BCR and ABL. They become closer. This chromosome is Philadelphia. If the chromosome is due to translocation, that chromosome will have a yellow color here. That is due to red and green light mixes and forms a yellow color. And there is no color on chromosome number 9. In normal individuals, a green color on chromosome number 22 and a red color on chromosome number 9. This will be shown much clear. I'll show you the fluorescent microscope image. See here, you can see some structures like यहाँ पे आप एक रेड कलर मिल रहा है, यहाँ पे आपको एक ग्रीन कलर मिल रहा है. दैट मीन्स ये क्रोमोसोम नंबर 9 है, ये क्रोमोसोम नंबर 22 है. Whereas when you see in the case of a Philadelphia chromosome, they have a mixed color. Red and green together forms a yellow color. This shows that the chromosome is formed due to translocation between 9 and 22nd. I hope this is clear. Here I'll show you how this is actually happened and how this translocation result into a yellow color. Now here you can see the chromosome number 9 is having a green colored probe. Just see the color only. And here it is 22nd is having a red colored probe. This is normal case. But what happens if there is a translocation? You can see the both genes are actually on chromosome number 22nd, and size of 22nd also get reduced, and both the genes come on chromosome number 22nd. This translocation happens during the cell division itself, but we locate these genes only. When we locate these two genes, we get a yellow color. If you are having a doubt that the Philadelphia chromosome is there in an individual, you can do FISH and see. If FISH shows a yellow color, if we do FISH of BCR and ABL gene and gets a yellow color on that smaller chromosome, we can confirm that the 22nd chromosome is smaller due to translocation between 9 and 22nd, and that confirms the CML. Early detection of CML can also be done like this. If you take blood cells and do this, if you are able to find some of the rarely 1 or 2 cells are having this yellow color, we can say that it is the starting of disease, and at the later stage you will find yellow color in many cells. So fluorescent in situ hybridization is a wonderful technique by which we are identifying or locating genes, and that help us to diagnose as well as study the intensity of diseases like CML. Thank you.